Hello, YouTube. This is an alcohol review of The Quiet Man, 8-year-old single malt Irish whiskey. According to the label, 8-year-old with nice gold on black, making it difficult to read. Packaging, people, packaging, important. Anyway, oak bourbon cask, matured, aged 8 years, bottled in Derry, North Ireland, recast and finished, and first fill bourbon barrels for an unmistakable Irish flavor. 40% alcohol by volume. The back has a quaint little tale. I swear they ripped off from the other Quiet Man bottle, which isn't 8-year. I'm not even quite sure how old it is. I'm assuming 4, but I could be wrong. Standard cork, wood top, very nice. There we go. Fly. Recork, so none of the critters around here knocks it over. And here we go. It is a lemony, a yellow hue to it. I'm sure I am wrong, but I've noticed that many Irish whiskeys tend to be on the lighter hue. I'm sure I'm wrong on to say that the majority of, you can never say the majority of anything and still be accurate, but my encounters with Irish whiskeys tend to hold that they tend to be on the lighter side. But let's give this a swirl. The reason for the swirl is to put the solution up the sides of the Glencairn. This is a Glencairn, obviously. You give it a swirl, brings the solution up the sides. When you see these crags form, that's called tearing or legs, the amount and how quick that happens is determined by the amount of residual sugar left in solution. The more legs and the faster, the less sugar, residual sugar, is in solution, letting you know that it has how the mouthfeel is going to be. So, if it is slow to tear, that means it's sticking much up to the glass. That means there's a lot of sugar. So it should have a heavier mouth feel, a bit more on the syrupy side, if you will. The less sugar in solution, the faster you'll get with the tearing, because it sticks less. Also, it gives you the presumption that it's going to be sweeter because there's more sugar in solution. That is really here nor there. I've come across where it is what looks to be heavy, a residual sugar, and not sweet at all. So it's a guessing game on that part. But still, it's part of the game. This tears up quite rapidly and quite heavily. So that says to us, low sugar solution, and it should not be sweet. Once we see that, we give it another swirl. This is to put the solution back up onto the side of the glass. We don't care if it runs down or not, but we want air to solution contact, because the Glencairn funnels, this should give the nose more to know. And it smells like rubbing alcohol. With hints of lemon and caramel. And more rubbing alcohol. And all of it very faint. Which, I know I shouldn't say this, but another assumption that I make through my experience with the various alcohols, and I know there's some out there who's got much more experience than I, but with my personal experience, Irish whiskey tends to be on the lighter end, lighter color, lighter flavors, things along that line, and this is falling exactly into those prejudices, oh, sorry, expectations of an Irish whiskey. Light on the nose, a little heavy on the alcohol part, but still light on the nose, light on the eye, and usually that means it's kind of light on the palate. And it is. Smokiness. There's a nice, good char. Caramel, lemon, and all wrapped around in a coating of ethanol. Which, I know you guys have made fun of my comment about this, but it tastes to me like burnt tire. So there's a light burnt tire encasing the lemon and caramel flavors. Is this bad? No, not really. It's meeting all my expectations of a Irish whiskey. What is bad for me is that this puppy is 8 year. There should be very little burn to no burn, preferably no burn. Very little bite to preferably no bite at 8 year. Presumably. But there is a soft burn and there's a soft bite with this, more so than what I'm anticipating for an 8-year-old. Now, the other Quiet Man that I had, whether it's a 4-year or whatever the other label, it's a much more yellow gold label. That had everything that you would expect from an Irish whiskey. The bite, the burn, everything else. Because this is 8, I was really hoping for much more smoother on the palate. Is this bad? No, not really. Just don't tell the person it's 8 year. That's all I can say. And then they'll go, oh yeah, it's a nice light sipping Irish whiskey. Now, Irish whiskeys are very good for, in my opinion, summertime, because they are lightly flavored, light on the nose. This is what you sip when you're watching the moon, the stars, in the middle of the dog days of summer, when it's hot enough. With one phrase out of a country song, it's hot enough to make the devil sigh. This is what you sip. Nothing's too strong on it. It's wonderful on the palate. It's got a bit of a kick, 40% alcohol by volume. A little bit of ice will round out all those problems that I've been mentioning. Be very nice. I just expected better at 8 years. I'm not angry. I'm just disappointed. Sorry. So anyways, you guys, give it a try. Tell me what you guys think. This is The Quiet Man, 8-year-old single malt Irish whiskey. Any comments down below will be warmly accepted as always. Or better yet, go out and buy it and try it yourself. And let the rest of us in the YouTube spirits community know your thoughts on The Quiet Man, 8-year-old. I'm kind of curious what you guys think. Like I said, it hits all my expectations, except I expected better with 8 years. But still, that does not mean it's bad. Just means I'm disappointed. Until next time, keep on drinking.